Just a Kiss, Chapter 23. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. If you haven't heard the previous 22 chapters of this story, they are linked in the description box below. Now then, if you haven't subscribed already and you're a binge watcher, go hit that subscribe button so you can get more Miraculous Ladybug goodies along the way. Pop up in the subscription feed, hit the bell for notifications. And for those of you that are subscribed, or even if you still aren't, smash that like button and leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment, put Nervous Nathaniel. Please enjoy Just a Kiss, Chapter 23. Nathaniel Kurtzberg. Nathaniel shuffled his hair back and forth as he gave himself a once-over in the mirror. Well, a once-over multiple times. He was nervous, and rightfully so. It was 5:15, and he had plenty of time to go pick up Chloe, but he couldn't get his head to stop spinning. A message from his dad buzzed his attention away, asking if he was bringing flowers. He told his father about it, of course. The man who spent years rolling his eyes as Nathaniel wore out the living room carpet, pacing over his feelings for Chloe, the same rotten girl who did nothing but torture him and his friends for years prior. Oh, no. He forgot flowers. Rookie mistake, but really, this was the first time he went on a date with a girl he actually liked and not an up-and-coming social media guru bumping elbows. But it was too late for flowers now. Chocolate? No, that wasn't a good idea either. Was he really about to show up empty-handed? An idea better than chocolates or flowers crossed his mind as he gave himself a final once-over in the mirror. It was a gamble, but it might work out in his favor. He'd gotten it for her birthday a few weeks from now, but he'd rather impress her as a date than as a friend. Nathaniel went to the back of his closet, the Fendi box staring back at him as he picked it up. The yellow-stained calf leather was perfect for her, regardless of if she dressed in her aesthetic or in his rebranding. Like Taylor Swift, the purse would be the staple, regardless of the cost of the outfit itself. It was multiple months' rent, but when he saw it, he couldn't get it out of his head. He'd thought about getting her a Chloe brand purse, but those paled in comparison to this. Now all he had to do was show up and give it to her. Easier said than done. At least he had two plans, depending on how she dressed. If she wanted glam, he'd take her out on the town. If she wanted to be casual, he'd take off his tie, unbutton the top 2 buttons, and take her for a cafe snack fest and ice cream after. It should work, right? But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared him for Alya Césaire opening the door when he knocked. He stared at her, slack-jawed, as she grinned something wicked his way. Was this Chloe's way of canceling on him? She could have just texted. This was worse than basically any other option she had, including ghosting him. "Hello?" he said. This was the right place, right? And the right timeline? "Hi." Alya opened the door wide, revealing Chloe's suite. Nope, definitely the right place. "What you got there?" "It's for Chloe." He cleared his throat, determined to not stutter or use filler words. It was his time to flex, right? That's what you do on dates? Flex? Posture? Well, don't just stand there, come on in. I'm super curious. Nathaniel lowered his voice. "Why are you here?" "Wouldn't you like to know?" she mused, adjusting her glasses. "But if you want the real answer, it's because Marinette is picking Adrian up from therapy, so Chloe had to call me instead." "Call you for what?" "You know how in American movies the girls gather to get ready for prom?" He thought back to the High School Musical binge. Sure. Maybe? No? Very convincing. Anyway, that's why I'm here. Pre-date game. Game? Alya's eyes narrowed in disappointment. Never mind, come in. Why did this feel like it was already off to a bad start? She wasn't even his date. Thank you, he said curtly. Hey, did you hear about Mark's new boyfriend? Nathaniel looked around, barely hearing the question as his eyes searched for Chloe. Yeah, and? I just think it's cute they met at a Pride March. Oh, he's not with that animator? Alya waved a hand, plopping onto the couch. That's the one. Same person. What about you and Nino? He asked, too nervous to join her. Anxiety hosted a field day dancing between his radius and Alma bones. Oh, we're engaged. No ring? Marinette's cat tripped me when it had the zoomies and I slammed into a wall. Popped the rock right out. It's getting repaired. Well, congratulations. He felt a bit embarrassed over being out of the loop and set the box on the coffee table. Sorry about the ring. More like sorry we won't get our security deposit back. That overpriced hunk of compressed earth left a hole in the drywall. Big enough for a snack stash? Nathaniel knew it wouldn't be, but he was nervous enough to need a distraction. Chloe was still nowhere in sight. Alya raised an eyebrow. Well, if we aren't getting the deposit back anyway, that's not a bad idea. A door clicked before he could answer, and Nathaniel turned at the noise. Oh. Chloe. At the sight of her, polished to be beautiful for the time they'd spend together, he lost his lungs' innate operating knowledge. Swallowing, Nathaniel turned away from the couch, the box for her still on the coffee table. Shall we? Chloe nodded, looking away. Duh. He chuckled, looking at his shoes as he felt a wash of affection wave over him. I brought you something. Duh, she repeated, arching an eyebrow and crossing her arms. Oh. She was nervous too. That made his grin all the wider. I think you like it. It was meant for your birthday, but I'll get something else. Now I'm curious, Alya muttered. Quiet, peasant, Chloe shot back. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, Nathaniel. Come on, he said. I have a car waiting. He picked up the box and went to the door, holding it open for her. Shall we? Chloe nodded, her blush darkening. We shall. And with that, Nathaniel followed her through the threshold, ignoring Alya's teasing goodbye. Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 24 is on the way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction, and I will catch you in the next one. For those of you still listening, put duh in the comments section. Bye!